some of the views on the previous 2 live streams that I did from here, Boca Chica Corp. It is July 4th, 2022, just past 2 p.m. There is a truck to my left with a antenna facing this direction, but like over 100 people had watched the first one before I put it, made it, what did I do? I made it non-public. So even though it said 0 or 2 people, depending on whether it was the first or second live stream, people were logging in and chatting and everything else. So I'm going to do this again. I see one person in the chat here. And I did a little, I wrote some notes about some of the news related to SpaceX and some of the stuff. I'm going to not look at the camera here, which shows as one person watching, and just assume that there are more people watching and talk about what I'm saying and some of the news. I didn't put do not disturb, I don't believe, on this one, so there's a chance that we may get interrupted, but it's working. 3 people here now. Good. Well, we'll see how this goes. I don't see anything in the chat, but so some of the news for SpaceX in the last day or 2 is that there's dozens of Raptors on the booster, which is true. I got some close-up visuals on that. So I believe it's 33 Raptors is what I believe, and if you were into what's it called, the Masons, they're all into the numbers, and 33 is like a big number for the Masons. Okay, so another thing in the news is the FAA Starlink has been granted for moving airplanes, cars, and ships. That's pretty new. So they're allowed to now market to those customers as well. Another thing in the news is Dogecoin. I'm going to list about 8 different things here, and then maybe I'll go into more of these things. Dogecoin is in the news as far as SpaceX and support. I did watch a video where Elon said, where I read a statement apparently by Elon saying that some of the employees like Dogecoin, so he is supporting it to show support for the employees, kind of thing. India would be a new market for SpaceX if they decided to go in that direction. Another thing in the news is bone loss amongst astronauts, and I can say a few things about that. SLS is bringing back their rocket back to more preparations, apparently. What else? I got 3 more things. Let's see. Now, bacterial rocket fuel is apparently making the news. The type of fuel that they can make with bacteria. And also the Higgs boson God particle is apparently big in the... people are so excited about it and interested in it. So I could talk about some of that stuff. And then that's about it. There's some more that I could say. But I'm going to focus on these topics for a little bit, and maybe it'll be interesting, and I'll look at some of the feedback after the show is over, because as we're live streaming right now, I don't see any comments, or YouTube still having some issues as far as showing any real-time stuff to me. So there are, they did get approval to launch on June 15th, and it's full of Raptors, the booster there. Booster 7, I believe, and I'm not up to date with all the different starships and boosters that are going back and forth from the build site to the launch site. For that information, you could check out a couple days ago. I chatted with Stephen, and he can, if you'll watch that video, he can answer some of those questions about which specific ships are going back and forth and things like that. So, as far as the FAA giving Starlink grant approval to be on airplanes, ships, and cars, that is pretty significant. It is. That's pretty awesome. I wonder what the cost for the service would. Is it still like a $500 initial payment and then monthly fees? I'm wondering what that type of fee structure is. I'm considering getting the Starlink for the remote camera site. I'm waiting on the right time to do that, and it might be very useful for that. As far as Dogecoin, it is a branch of, I believe, Litecoin, and it was started as a joke apparently many years ago, and it's still around. And there are other more faster tokens like I'll mention the different ones going from the top down. I'll mention XRP is a very fast token, super fast, so fast that the central banks are looking to use it to replace SWIFT, and the token is around 30 cents right now. Ethereum is liked by a lot of people, but it has a lot of issues as far as cost of use. There's a lot of fees associated with Ethereum. And what else can I say? It is centralized, even though a lot of people like to say it's decentralized. There was when Gary Gensler and Hinman gave the approval for the Ethereum to get, they stated that it was Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then recently Gary Gensler he dropped Ethereum from the cleared tokens approved to be commodities. So now he's only saying Bitcoin. And we may see some excitement in that industry in the future as maybe Craig Satoshi Wright comes to the fore and says, hey guys, I'm going to sue you, Coinbase and Kraken, which he did say, hey John, okay, we got a chat here. Cool. Craig was saying he is the apparently self-proclaimed founder Satoshi of Bitcoin. And he says that BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi version, is the correct one, and he is apparently going to be suing Coinbase and Kraken coming up soon. So, there is that to consider as far as BTC, whether or not that is Bitcoin, and whether the market will continue to crash or whether we'll find its floor here at 20,000 or 19 and change and go back upwards. We will see. There's a lot more I could say about crypto, but so that is the Dogecoin little intro for that. There are faster and more used tokens, and why apparently Elon is for Dogecoin because some of his employees like Dogecoin. What's happening today? It's today we're at the build site, and also earlier today at the launch site. It's a low. I think they really believe in the 4th of July here. Celebrating this holiday as opposed to many other holidays, because there is practically no employees here compared to any other normal day. So, yeah, happy 4th, John. Thanks. Hey, Martin. Hey. See, over here, this whole parking lot would be full of cars and trucks. And then the gated parking lot back there would be full. And then there's a parking lot to the right of this whole area too. In this direction, behind, in that direction, down to the left on the road. You can't see it. But that is empty except for 2 trucks. So they do believe in celebrating the 4th of July here, which is good. I like that. I'm just going through some of the news. I think I'm enjoying this type of commentary, and I can do more reading and preparation for the news on the this type of news type of thing, and I think it'd be fun. Throw it in when there's nothing else going on. As far as bone loss in space, for people, astronauts who go up into space for 6 months or 12 months, they're coming out with some pictures of the bone density changes after a year because, no gravity and stuff like that. And what I can say is I have a bachelor's in holistic wellness, and different people say different things. But as far as what I believe is that if some of these astronauts, and even I believe something that I like is raw food and raw cow milk, raw goat milk, raw cheese, raw eggs. I like all this raw stuff, and it is. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical person. You should check with your doctor before doing any of this. But what I like to do whenever I get a chance is to eat some, raw fruits and unpasteurized, non-irradiated. So a lot of spices are irradiated or or they get different softeners added to breads and things like that, which will, in my opinion, make it less tasty and less good. John says, "What a cracking view you have there, Paul. I'd love to be there to see that view in person." Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a nice shot. It's nice. Yeah. Martin. So as far as raw milk is concerned, I believe if babies are fed mother's milk that's been put in the microwave, that's very harmful, if not deadly, to babies. So there is a certain thing between types of milk. Not all milk is the same. So if you were to take mother's milk from breast milk and put it into a microwave, that would be harmful to the child. Is I'm not a mother and I've never done it before. So I'm into the unpasteurized, uncooked versions of milk. And I believe I've got a bachelor's degree in holistic wellness, but I believe that the raw milk would allow you to remineralize the bone structure in the body faster. So as far as these astronauts going with the bone loss, maybe they can get some cows up there in space, and that would kind of alleviate the loss of bones density. Or maybe they could eat some raw eggs up there in space, because I know a lot of the astronaut food is pasteurized and it has a long shelf stability and stuff like that. And then they eat pretty poor food because they're engineers. They're not. They don't have a degree in wellness. None of these astronaut or space people do. So they're of the sterilization type of person. The chefs and cooks for the astronauts are mostly on the side of less bacteria, less like the body is a robot and a machine, and the body is not a. This is what they believe. I believe that they believe that the body is a machine, and that they can feed it whatever they want to feed it. So, as a energetic, holistic wellness type person who studied that for many years, my belief is that the body is alive. It's not a machine, and so. That's my thoughts on that. So if the astronauts want to remineralize their bodies and stuff like that, I would recommend some raw egg smoothies with some raw milk and some raw unsalted butter and some raw, what else? Goat milk, some raw goat milk or raw heavy cream or raw cow cream, unpasteurized. And that, I believe, would do wonders for getting back their full functionality. The only issue with that is when you want to mass produce that type of thing, it's not very shelf stable. So stores can get into trouble. They can't even sell these type of things because the health department around the United States is run by chemists and other people like that who are kind of, it's said, more in the culture of death than the culture of life. So you gotta choose who you're gonna listen to, and then you live the results of that belief. See, Martin says, I eat 3 eggs a day, whole eggs. Hey Martin, do you do that in a raw? Do you do that in a smoothie? You just crack the eggs and throw them in a smoothie, or do you cook the eggs and put them on some English muffins or something, or what do you do? Good stuff. Either way, sounds good. Sounds tasty. Omelet sounds good. I occasionally do some boiled eggs or stuff like that myself, but fully knowing that it's not very healthy for me to do that. But it's better if I do like a smoothie with some maybe a raw protein mixed by Garden of Life with some raw eggs, 3 or 4 eggs in there, and what else? Some coconut oil. And some bananas, organic bananas, and maybe some blueberries, frozen blueberries from Walmart or something like that. That sounds like a really good drink. And you can always specialize and add some other stuff. Like I could go into a whole bunch of stuff, like raw honey, unheated honey. It's all kind of stuff. Anyway, so that is the bone loss segment. As far as the bacterial rocket fuel, that sounds really interesting, and I'd want to look more into that, but it caught my eye for a few days now. Blueberries and bananas every day, says Martin. That's good. I had a bunch of blueberries yesterday myself. $3 at Walmart, so you can get a bag of blueberries frozen. Sounds good. And I do believe that freezing, apparently you lose half of the nutrient value when you freeze the whatever it is, the fruit or vegetable. So it's always better if you eat it raw, but frozen is better than cooked, I would say. As far as the Higgs boson guard particle, what I can say about that is, you can always go smaller and smaller, and I don't know. I would have to do more research to be knowledgeable about what they're saying here. But as far as God is concerned, I would say that God is an awareness. God is a presence, and I don't know if there's any particle that we could say is, well, even particles are God too. So I correct myself, but if we were to say the extreme of being, I would say is unmanifest. So no particle could ever be the God particle. But as far as so one extreme is the unmanifest. The other extreme of God, I would say, is the manifest. So yes, there are God particles, but not only is there a Higgs boson God particle, there is a blueberry God particle, and there is a Ocean Camera Space Corp iPhone camera God particle as well. So everything in the universe, I believe, is a God particle, and I don't believe that there's anything in the universe that is not God. And I believe there are particles everywhere. So yeah, it's kind of okay. So after hearing that, I would say that the only meaning in life is the meaning that you state as meaning for yourself. So the only meaning in life is the meaning that you choose to believe. So and there was a statement by some people that let me see, some of the gathering here at SpaceX was kind of like a cult, and I would extend that view and say that everything is a cult. Because if you take the thought that there is no meaning in the universe except for the meaning that you create, then any gathering of people around any idea or thought or event or action is cult-like. I mean, what's not, there is only meaning in what you create. So this enthusiasm about SpaceX is what it is, and people choose to get excited about it, and so you can call it whatever you want, but it is really just a bunch of people who choose to believe a certain type of thing, and there's nothing better or worse about this than any other thing going on here on the planet or anywhere else. So, all right, I've covered a bunch of things. I gotta do more news research. I gotta write down more things to chat about. Maybe get some screenshots of different stuff, and I can build on this type of a commentary. But I can't do a live stream while I can't do a live stream and look at the computer at the same time, because at the moment live streaming from here in my truck, I have no ability to browse the internet at the moment. So let me see. Martin says, "Is that sign set for you?" Oh yeah, stop. That stop sign. Let me zoom in and see what it says. Let me see. Good one, Martin. Yes, but what am I is the question. Let me see what it says. With this camera we can't see it. I don't believe we can. But it's also set for you too, right? See what it says. I can't see what it says. Check with probably check with security to the right. Is what I believe it might say. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy it's showing that some people are watching. The first 2 streams I did, it was like 0 for the first stream, and then even though like 100 people currently watched it. So careful. Yeah, they got Okay, so that's something else I could talk about. You know, SpaceX is in. Elon is involved around the world in a lot of big projects and stuff. So he's helping out a lot of different countries and people. So I think maybe the more of that he does, the less sabotage there will be. Maybe. Let me know if we're still live. I got a message from Facebook just a minute ago, and it may have cut out the screen. So if we got a black screen, let me know. I did not remember to put the do not disturb on before this live stream. So if we have a black screen, let me know we have a black screen. If we're good, just say we're good. Yeah, I don't know if some of you know a guy named, there's a movie called, thanks Pipersall, there's a movie called The Big Short, and that could, Michael Burry, I think his name was. Anyway, he was recently on Twitter saying that we got about another 50% to go down, I believe, in the stock market, is what Michael was saying earlier, or later last week. So, there is a potential for the stock market to go down about 50%. S&P 500 and the others as well, NASDAQ, etc. So, we are pretty low, and some people are saying gas may go up to maybe $15 a gallon or something. JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, I believe, this week said gas could get over $300 a barrel. So I don't do any trading necessarily in the stock market at the moment, but it's something to keep in mind that the gas prices might continue to go up, and for the next several months we might have a lot more hardship as far as the economy and stuff like that. So. €2.35 a liter. Oh, cool. Well, I'm not sure how much that is. We do gallons here, and we do dollars. Let's see. Martin says it's €2.35 a liter. So that I would have to convert from euros to dollars, and then from liters to gallons. But it sounds pretty high to me. There's, I think, around 2 liters per gallon or something like that. So that would be about 470 or 480 maybe. And then from euros to dollars, what would that be? I'm not sure. The euro might be more expensive than the dollar at the moment. So. I listen to a guy named Gregory Manarino, and I also watch some other people like Chuck Barone. Yeah, Piper's All says ups and downs, repeat of 2008, and yeah, $8.99 a gallon, says Martin. Wow, in Europe, huh? $8.88. Yeah, we have stuff like that over there in California right now. I believe it's pretty high. The gas in California is pretty high. So. Yeah, and apparently, and why is that? Yeah, apparently, I believe we are exporting gas out of the United States, and we're not actually using as much of our capability as far as getting oil from the ground as we could be. Yeah. What I heard recently in the last month or two was that, and I have heard similar things in the past, that oil is not, it's been labeled as a fossil fuel. But if the earth is alive, if the oil is like the blood of the earth, and that the living being, the earth, constantly creates oil, constantly creates blood to live, then it's not a fossil fuel. I've heard that fossil was added to the word fuel to make it seem limited. But if the earth is alive, and if the oil is the blood of the earth, then it will constantly be renewed, and it is apparently constantly renewed. So there's nothing fossil about the oil. It's not a fossil fuel. It's not from dead plant matter and stuff like that. That's decayed and become oil. It's created by the earth apparently. So that's just something to know or think about. All right, well, that's a good thing to chat about right there. But yeah, we could drastically reduce the price of gasoline in our country if we wanted to by reopening some of the pipelines that we have here in the United States. We are in Texas, and it's pretty interesting how in Texas we could have high gas prices, considering that we are one of the major oil locations here in the United States. So it's pretty interesting how that is all happening. Another interesting thing was there was a picture of Elon Musk with the Pope, I believe, and his kids were there with him. I don't know if some of you've seen that photo of Elon and his kids next to the Pope. Pretty funny. I believe if Elon ever has an out-of-body experience, it will transform his approach to a lot of the things that he does. As of yet, Elon, I don't believe, has had an out-of-body experience. And some of the thoughts around, sometimes a very rich family will after so many years in the public being, creating a big brand and persona about a certain family, they'll change their name and kind of reinvent themselves in a different industry and stuff like that. So I don't know if Elon, his family in the past has been rich or wealthy in the past or whatever. I'd have to do more research about that. But sometimes a family will reinvent itself to kind of maintain its livelihood, but in a different arena with a different public image. So I wonder some of the history of Elon's family is wondering some of that. So. Any other things we could chat about? Survive. Yeah. Booster 4. Oh, okay. Part of Booster 5 on the right. Martin said Booster 4. Let me check out. I'll do some zoom ins here. Good redirect there. So we had better lighting a little bit earlier on the other live streams, but and I apologize. This is probably 720 or something like that pixelation, so not the best. The HD quality will upload later after the live stream is over, but it takes a while, sometimes even 24 hours for that to get uploaded from the phone here to the YouTube, the HD quality. So. Yeah, it's pretty sketchy as far as what I'm looking at here. Okay, one of the things I pointed out in an earlier live stream was that there on in the center of the screen on the ground with the grid fins on the top there. That's the top of a booster there. I get it. Right there at the top of the screen right now is looks like a booster with the grid fins on top in front of that white structure. Okay, Martin asks, when do you think the static fire test will start? Well, they have the booster up on the orbital launch platform right now. They have a big table-like structure underneath the orbital launch platform. So, you know, they could go this week. I'm not sure. They're loading up a lot of tankers are coming in, helium, oxygen, and I haven't seen any nitrogen tankers recently, but there's probably some nitrogen tankers coming in too. But so they're bringing in the tankers and they're tweaking the Raptors. So I believe tomorrow is road closure. I believe. I haven't checked today. So yeah, it could be this week, like you're saying. Yeah. That was a nitrogen tanker just going by right now. So, yep, nitrogen tankers here as well. And that was an oxygen tanker just past us. And another nitrogen tanker just past us. So 2 nitrogens and 1 liquid oxygen just passed us. Probably going to get some more and come back. What else is in the news? I will do a bunch of research tonight and see what's in the news and read up on a bunch of articles, and then we'll have a lot. I'll have a lot of things, many things to say about different stuff. I have my own opinions and theories. Should be fun. I normally look at a lot of stuff, but I don't write stuff down. But I can start writing stuff down and then chat here about how I feel about certain things. I have the other camera here as well, so when something exciting is going to happen and we do need some good zoom or imagery stuff, I will take it out and use it. Upload the content. I was over at the remote camera site today, and everything's working good over there as far as batteries and solar panels and stuff like that. So. The update on that is the title company is still processing the owner's paperwork as far as from a different state into Texas, the ownership of the person. So it's good. They just have to transfer it to Texas from, I believe, a different state. So once that's through, then I can put down the deposit for the purchase, $2,000, which I have, and begin the ownership. It's I got it owner financed, so I just got to pay the deposit, and then it's officially mine. So I was considering, well, I could start welding a big, nice tower. I will do that once the transfer has happened, once all the paperwork's signed and everything like that. Then I will. I was kind of dreaming about making one of those square kind of towers out of metal, and I could really concrete that down, and I could, instead of having a pole that moves in the wind, this thing would be solid, and it would be there for a long time too. So I could, I was thinking about how that would feel to weld it and put it in the ground and stuff like that. So kind of visioning it, and I could have a camera pointing at the build site over here, simultaneously with the camera pointing over at the launch site, and wall it in so it doesn't shake and stuff like that. So. Thanks, Viperzall. Yep. John says, just get a truss-style tower made. Yeah, I could make it myself too, John. I was thinking about just going to like the scrap yard or going to a metal yard and buying like 4 and then grinding it and putting some angles on it for support, and then just welding it together. And then, I could sink it into some concrete, and then it would be there for good. John says, that's Booster 5 with its grin fins still attached and Booster 5 bottom section still mounted on its booster stand slightly north of the Starlink Pez dispenser white box. Okay. I'll do some zooms here. I get busy. See what we're talking about here. Yeah, as far as the land, I'm super happy about it. I'm a little bit nervous about it too, as far as, having to make monthly payments for the next several years to pay it off and stuff like that. But I know it's easily doable. So I'm a little nervous, but I am happy. So I'm more happy than nervous, but I am aware of what I'm getting myself into here. But John, as far as yeah, I could get the materials at a scrapyard. I know how to do all the work, so I would just have to sand out the different spots that I'm gonna weld, cut the beams in the right directions, etc. With a metal saw, and then weld the different pieces together, and there's done. Pretty easy. And then mix up some concrete and put it in the ground, and done deal. For instance, we're looking at that white thing in the center of the screen, that stand there. That's pretty easy to make. It would be hard to make it as nice as they've made it, but it would be pretty easy to make something like that. You just need a bunch of steel, you need a bunch of circular saws that can cut metal, and then a sander and a welder. Yeah, with the rising water levels, a tower would be good. Yeah. Yeah. One interesting thing is there is that segment there is on a stand. So Rocket Launch Mania, how you doing? Good, good. That so this segment there is on a stand. So I'm not sure where that the piece is going, but they do have it on a on a stand. So pretty interesting. I'll tilt up here and get the that's the top of the vehicle here. I am going to make a concerted effort to get out here and take video of every major move that I can. So I'm spending a lot of time here on site, and I'm planning to do that at least this month and likely into the future, but and see how it goes. And I will get as much as I can in the next several days. Technology, as long as I have the technology and the battery power and everything like that settled, then I will do the best I can. So I was saying that if Elon ever has an out-of-body experience, if he hasn't had one already, that will radically transform his stance on many things. What I can also say is that when you're juggling, you don't have a lot of time to do other things. So Elon is juggling a lot of things. He's really focused here and now. So I don't know if he'll have time to relax enough to venture into the other dimensions with any clarity. But if he does, and if he knows and he recognizes what's happening, it will change not only his personal life, but it will change everything else too. I mentioned that because he was recently with the Pope and stuff like that. So. Yeah, he's a family man too, and he's got several kids with several different wives or several different girlfriends. So he's got a bunch of kids. He's got a bunch of businesses. He's got a full life. So John says Elon wants to make smartphones with the Tesla name on them. I didn't know if it was going to be with Tesla or another company, but yeah, I have seen a photo of one of the phones apparently. I mean, if you have your own satellite Starlink system, why not have your own phones too, right? So he's going to be in the phone business. He's going to be in the, he's already in the Starlink satellite business. He's in the launch business. He's going to be in the robot business. He's in the car business already. and he's in the tunnel business. So I guess some of the and he's in a solar business. Not so much in the solar business, but he is in the solar energy business as well. So pretty interesting. The only sectors he hasn't touched are the food industry and what else? Entertainment. He hasn't really. He's kind of approaching that with Twitter, but he doesn't own any movie stations or anything like that. What else? He doesn't have any fruit groves. I believe one of his brothers or something has is into food and growing food. So. Night, Martin. Yep, kombucha. Good night. This is kind of a open stream here. It's not so much of a focus stream. So, yep. Night, Martin. Thanks for the info on the price of gasoline in the European Union. Good stuff. $8.88 or so a gallon. Kimball Musk. What I could say is this is one of the hottest areas of the United States here. It's got a decent amount of humidity here too, so if they wanted to grow fir trees and start some orchards, maybe grow some citrus and other stuff like that, I believe this could be a good area. Kimball's the one growing the foods in the storage containers. Good stuff. So there's a lot of mesquite trees here in South Texas, but there could just as easily be a lot of other trees too. Lemon trees, lime, banana trees, I believe could grow pretty good here. John says gas is always cheaper here in McAllen and Sam's Club. There are two of them in McAllen. The fuel is cheaper here. Cool. Sam's Club. See, about the fuel, I started to just buy my gasoline from Murphy's USA because I stopped buying the gasoline that has any ethanol in it. So I'm doing the ethanol-free gasoline so that there's no water in my gas. I was having some issues with my fuel filter getting messed up with the water condensation somehow I don't know if it's because the truck was old or maybe it was coming in the fuel. And so I stopped buying the ethanol fuel. I also did some weather stripping along the bottom of my windshield. Maybe some water was getting in during the heavy rainstorms from the rain seeping in somehow into my distributor cap or something. I'm not sure, but I sealed it up with some. What did I use? I used a mixture of some type of glue, and it stopped. It's fixed now. But I was working on it for a long time, trying to figure it out. So. There's a box here in view here. There's that white box there. This is something that Stephen told me a few days ago that white box there on the right, that big box, is used for apparently the Starlink installation on the whatever they're gonna, wherever they're gonna install the Starlink. So they had that up in the air in the mid bay, I believe it was in the high bay. It could have been in the mid. I believe it was in the high bay. They had it over the Starship or something like that. But maybe it was the midday. I think they had that up in the air. Depends where I was looking at it from. I'm not sure where I was looking at it, but yeah, they had that white thing up in the air, and they were apparently installing the Starlink into a Starship, I believe. There's a guy named Benjamin Fulford, and I read his article every Monday, and he writes about some of the different battles over power here on Earth. You know, about the different governments fighting each other in the background or in secret, and the allies and the people working together, and different thoughts about the different moves that governments are taking against each other or against the people. So it's pretty interesting. Benjamin Fulford, I believe .com possibly is the website. Good stuff. So today's Monday. He put one out, an article today. So check it out. But I'm just looking for different ways to be creative is what I spend my time doing, and this video is kind of one of the ways, but no. I guess I'll do a summary of what's going on, and maybe I'll wrap it up. 54 minutes into the live stream here. Let's see. So it is July 4th of 2022. It is a Monday. They're doing preparation for possibly a static fire this week or soon. I don't know how many of the different environmental things that they've taken care of, these 75 different things they had to do before they could launch, but there is a list of a bunch of things they're supposed to do. What else? Low staff here today. It is 4th of July, and people usually do the fireworks on the evening of the 3rd of July, so the fireworks happened pretty much last night. Maybe there'll be some more tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a road closure, I believe, here. And I may post some things in the community chat about any information I get about tomorrow. I'll do my best to do some live streaming tomorrow of whatever the road closure is. And I may do another video or so today from down by the launch site. Apparently a lot of people are saying to get some food together just in case there's any emergency you ever need down the road in the next 5 months or so. I bought some rice yesterday. I did my little part about that. I also found there is some cacti out here that are fruiting or blooming. So I've located at least one edible substance out here in the marshy air, in the marsh down by the remote camera site. There are some edible things to maybe plant some stuff outside. We got some sunny weather here. Wherever you are, you can, if you're inside or stuff like that, you can grow sunflower seed sprouts. You can sprout sunflower seeds, and then you can, within a week of planting them, you can cut the stems and you can wash these seeds off. And then you can eat the sunflower seeds, sprouts. So you can, if you're gonna, you can make little plats of, you can grow sprouts inside if you're in a colder weather or something like that. But yeah, we may be looking forward to some hard times here, not only nationally here in the United States, but internationally, as possibly the currency reset happens, or the crash, the rise in the 10-year yield, or the bond market crashes, or we'll see, and how that affects the price of the dollar and the different currencies around the world. And do the best we can to thrive, live the best we can, knowing that a lot of stuff is happening economically, and everything is connected. So when one thing gets pulled, another thing gets pulled. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all works itself out. So I'm doing what I can as far as positioning money in different areas so that I can benefit from some of the changes that are happening. Apparently gold is going to be going up, or now could be a good time to be buying gold. Silver apparently is severely underpriced. Apparently, I think that J.P. Morgan and some of the other bankers have been shorting silver in the derivatives markets, holding it down for many, many years, and possibly silver could springboard. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just some of the stuff that I've heard, and some of the steps that I've taken and am taking to do well. So, yeah, we might be looking at some hard times, even harder times coming up. But it doesn't have to be hard for you, and it doesn't have to be hard for the people around you. So, do what you can. If everything worked the way I've set things up, I would be possibly a billionaire, or I'd be a multimillionaire pretty easy. There is a possibility of that happening. And if that happens, I can move the OceanCam mission forward in a much bigger way. So I've positioned myself to potentially be able to do bigger and better things. So, I had a beautiful piece of property a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, and I decided to, knowing everything that's been happening since 2008, I've been expecting it, like you may have been expecting it to crash a lot harder after 2008, and then they bailed it out with the quantitative easing and stuff like that, diluting the currency and stuff like that. So, this may be a another controlled demolition, intentional demolition here of the economic system that we're looking at. And even though there are bounces in the market, it may just be to bring in more money so that people can continue to sell into the buyers. So they may create the bounces so that they can bring in more buyers, and then they sell once the buyers come in. So just like fishing, you know, throw a little bait in the water and then bring out the net and pick up all the fish. So the people who necessarily are in the IMF and the World Bank and all the other types of big government money agencies aren't necessarily religious or spiritual people. So there may be some, but overall it's more probably the survivalistic approach to running things. Murphy's Law kind of thing, you know, expect the worst, hope for the best kind of thing. That so we'll see the outcome of that. Maybe in the next 12 months. You know. Something they've been working on here since 2008. And I know the Social Security was going to be going bankrupt around 2020-ish. So is this connected to the Social Security debacle that they were in prior to 2020? And is there any relationship between the events we're experiencing now to the government going bankrupt? And this is maybe a way to bail themselves out. So interesting times, and coming to you live this Monday, July 4th, 2022. If there's anything else in the chat, post something. I will be ending the stream here, just over an hour. Another thing I could throw in is a lot of, I believe that a lot of younger people have been taught a certain thing by their parents, so they're gung-ho about certain ideas and concepts. And it's not until they get out into the world and start having some personal experience in the world and following certain groups that you see the results of those groups. So you know, the longer you live, maybe the more you know, the less you know that you know, kind of thing. Or the more that you know that you don't know. So the more you know, the more you know that you don't know. One of those kind of things. So the younger you are, the more you think you know. But the older you are, the more you know that you don't know. The more you know that you don't know. So I am 46 this month, and I know that I know less than I thought I knew when I was in my 20s. So I know that I know, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Good stuff. So some people like to hire people who are younger because they're more gung-ho, and they ask less questions, and they just follow orders. So if you are in your teens or around that time frame, just know that the people who you're working for know that you think you know more than you might know, and just something to be aware of. All right, I'm gonna sign out. I don't see anything else in here in the chat. It's been a lot of fun. All right, I might see you later from the launch site. I'm gonna head in that direction and see what's happening over there at the launch site. Sign out in 5, 4, 3, 2. Thanks for tuning in. Signing out here. See you later. Thank you.